Welcome back. Thanks very much for staying on with us here on WION World is One. I'm Modi Gambhir. This is our continuing coverage of the latest coming in from Afghanistan as we continue to monitor those developments. Some big breaking developments coming in. India has formally held a meeting with the Taliban at their request. This meeting in Doha was held between the Indian ambassador to Qatar and Taliban's political chief at its Doha office. The ambassador of India to Qatar, Deepak Mittal, formally met with Taliban's Sher Mohammad Abbas Tanekzai. The meeting took place at the Embassy of India in Doha. The discussions largely focused on safety, security, but the main agenda was the early return of the Indian nationals stranded in Afghanistan. The travel of Afghan nationals, especially minorities who wish to visit India, was also discussed. Ambassador Mittal raised India's concern over security and terror. The Indian envoy made it clear that Afghanistan's soil should not be used for anti-India activities and terrorism in any manner. The Taliban representative, meanwhile, assured that all of India's issues and concerns would be positively addressed. Let's get in further details now from our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, joining us on the broadcast. Siddhant, what more do we know at this point?
Well, Molly, this is a major development when it comes to Afghanistan. This is first public acknowledgement by the Indian side of a meeting happening at the request, of course, of Taliban. We know that previously there were reports of India and Taliban having meetings and the Ministry of External Affairs never denied it. The usual response that used to come from MEA was that we are in touch with all the stakeholders. But now for the first time that there has been an acknowledgement by New Delhi of India meeting with the representatives of Taliban. Now, the person India has met, Sher Mohammad Tanekzai, he of course is key member of the Taliban and also someone who recently spoke. He made a 45-minute address to Afghanistan, and in that address he had specifically mentioned India, saying that we want good relationship with New Delhi. He said that we would like to continue trade and economic relationship, highlighting the India-Afghanistan air corridor, the air corridor that was started in 2017. And that has been a very lucrative trade corridor. In that, the 45-minute statement that was done in Pashto, he also talked about Chabahar. He also talked about Tapi gas line project, saying that these are important projects for Afghanistan. And now this meeting happening, as you pointed out, the main focus was the repatriation of the Indian nationals and when it comes to the issue of terrorism. Now, we need to understand, for a long time now, when the development was happening, the peace talks were happening, the intra-Afghan talks were happening, India had been saying that the Afghan soil should not be used for anti-India activities. It should not give a safe haven to terror groups, particularly the Pakistan-based international terror groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. In fact, yesterday as well, the Indian Foreign Secretary Harsh Vardhan Shringla, he was in New York, and after that UNSC meet, the all-important UNSC meeting, he had addressed the reporters and talked about, on the same lines, talking about how these international terror groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed are a concern for New Delhi finding safe haven in Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. But nonetheless, this is one of the most important development we have seen in recent times. Yes, we have seen when it comes to Afghanistan a lot of development. Today indeed is a historic day in terms of the Americans leaving the country. The Taliban leadership also making a statement there, we saw recently. But when it comes to India, this is perhaps the single most important development, because India was deeply connected with the previous Afghan government led by President Ashraf Ghani. He, of course, right now is in UAE. But it is for the first time that there has been a public acknowledgement in terms of India and Taliban engaging with each other. There have been conversations, and of course, the Indian side worried about its Indian nationals stranded there. India, of course, has evacuated more than 500 people so far. This includes more than 200 Afghan nationals. Most of them are minority Afghan and Sikhs. But remember, last week, as WION reported, that 140 Afghan and Sikhs could not come to India primarily because of the Taliban not allowing them to come to India, because Taliban had said that no Afghan will leave the country. And now it looks like this conversation will help in making sure that there is progress in the matter. But nonetheless, when it comes to development, it is hugely significant. This, in fact, starts more such conversations and public acknowledgement by New Delhi when it comes to conversation with Taliban. In fact, we can expect the Taliban to form a government very soon. There are hectic conversations happening in Kandahar even as we speak, and this could be on the model of the Iranian governance system, with a supreme leader, with a supreme council, which could have members from 11 to 72. There are various names as well going on when it comes to the Prime Minister. Mullah Baradar and Mullah Yaquba, two probable names when it comes to the Prime Minister of Afghanistan. So while situation remains in flux, India has made sure that its interests are safeguarded when it comes to Afghanistan, and Afghanistan, which is beginning a new era after 20 years of the American presence in the country. And this is something of a major change in the region and for India as well.
Right, stay with me, Siddhant. Just a quick roundup for our viewers who might just be joining us here on WION World is One. A crucial development that has taken place. India has formally held a meeting with the Taliban at their request. This meeting in Doha was held between the Indian ambassador to Qatar and Taliban's political chief at its Doha office. The ambassador of India to Qatar, Deepak Mittal, formally met with Taliban's Sher Mohammad Abbas Tanekzai. This meeting took place at the Embassy of India in Doha, is what we know. The discussions largely focused on safety, security, but as Siddhant was also telling us, the main agenda was the early return of the Indian nationals stranded in Afghanistan. Siddhant, let's also take a step back and give our viewers a broader sense of India's evacuation efforts so far when it comes to Afghanistan.
Well, when it comes to India's evacuation efforts, India, of course, has launched Operation Devi Shakti. Under the Operation Devi Shakti, 6 flights, the Indian Air Force Flight C-17 have gone and brought back many of its nationals and, of course, the Afghan minorities and other Afghans as well. India, of course, had started its evacuation immediately. There was, of course, evacuation earlier as well, but after 15th of August development, the fall of Kabul to Taliban, there were hectic conversations, and of course India was able to bring back its diplomats. India was able to bring back many journalists who were in Afghanistan, and we have seen how there was a progression in terms of when it comes to Kandahar and Mazar-e-Sharif as well, because remember India has consulates there as well, and when the fighting started, India was quick to evacuate diplomats from there. So now, as of now, there are very few Indian nationals present, and we can confirm that there are the evacuation process still continues, even though we know that there are troubles when it comes to the Kabul International Airport, the Hamid Karzai International Airport. There, of course, situation is not very good in terms of the radar system. There, in fact, is no radar system as of now. So it is almost impossible for flights to leave and come to Kabul. But nonetheless, India's evacuation continues. India's focus is to bring back more of its national until the last man in the country, the last Indian in the country is there and he wants to come to India. India will continue its process. In fact, India immediately on 16th of August started the Afghan cell. Now, this Afghan cell had numbers. These were very active on WhatsApp, on also email system as well. And this was manned by 20 or more than 20 the Indian Foreign Service officials who were replying to all these people who wanted to reach out and get an Indian visa as well, many of them Afghans. And remember, India also started the e-visa system as well, because Indian embassy, while the Indian staff is here, the consular services continue with the e-visa system, and India is getting number of applications. And initially, all these Afghans who are keen to come to India will get a visa for 6 months, and this could be extended as well. So India made sure that the people who stood by India are able to come to India, and many of them who are having relatives here can come back to India. So this process continues. We can expect when there is a government formation, then of course India bring back more of its people who are stranded. In fact, recently we saw the Indian External Affairs Minister briefing the political parties here. It is a rare briefing in terms of, we know there have been all-party meetings in the past as well, but for the first time there was a briefing specifically when it comes to foreign affairs in a very, very long time. And the Indian External Affairs Minister, in the 3.5-hour long briefing, briefed the MPs, took questions from the MPs on how India is planning forward. In fact, India was is still, today is the last day, in fact, of the United Nations Security Council. And at the United Nations Security Council, India had chaired 2 important meetings on Afghanistan, one on 6th of August, another on 16th of August. And there were 4 legal documents by the UNSC issued. These were 3 press statements and 1 resolution. The resolution was issued just yesterday night, Indian Standard Time. And this resolution talks about the commitments, of course, made by Taliban, but also a safe passage to many Afghan nationals and other foreign nationals who want to leave the country as soon as possible. So that was also a focus as well. But things are really different in terms of the Taliban of 1990s and Taliban of 2021 in terms of the optics. And of course, they are a very image-conscious Taliban as well.
Right. Stay with me, Siddhant. Let's also get in a quick update from our correspondent in Kabul, Anas Malik, who has been tracking all those developments there. Just a short while back, Anas, the Taliban held another press briefing after the U.S. exit. This was the first press briefing held by the Taliban leadership, talking about the way forward, promises that have been made towards rebuilding Afghanistan. At the same time, the Taliban is inviting foreign investors, assuring them about a safe and stable business environment. Take our viewers through the key takeaways from that press briefing, the first one after America's exit has been completed.
Absolutely, Molly. Today, the U.S. forces has formally exited from Afghanistan. And just a short while back, addressing his first press conference after Taliban's complete takeover of Afghanistan, the spokesperson of the Afghan Taliban, Zabiullah Mujahid, emphasized on the need that Afghanistan's national interest would be kept supreme. The fact that they would want to have foreign investments in the country, the fact that Afghanistan would want to ensure security to foreign investments, the fact that they would want to ensure that their international partners or international collaborators transparency, and the fact that they would want to ensure that aid that comes in, that is also used in the most transparent manner. We've seen this being as a more talking point because in previous governments, in previous administrations, we've seen a lot of corruption allegations that have been coming in. But the Taliban now emphasizing clearly that they would want to have investments, but with clarity and with transparency and accountability. Wally?
Right. Let me also take that to Siddhant. What is this statement, the assurance that has been made by Taliban of a safe and stable business environment, mean for India specifically?
Well, we are dealing with a very image-conscious Taliban, a Taliban which would like good press, and they're making all the right statements as well. We know that Stanexai recently, in a 45-minute long statement, the Pashto statement talked about India, about Pakistan, about Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, all regional countries, how they would like to have relationship. And specifically regarding India, they talked about good relationship. And now the meeting is happening, which has already happened between the Indian envoy to Qatar and, of course, Sher Mohammad Stanexai as well. Interestingly, Deepak Mittal was the JS Pai, Joint Secretary Pai in the Ministry of External Affairs in his previous biggest role, and now, of course, playing a key role when it comes to the developments when it comes to Afghanistan. But largely when it comes to Taliban, this Taliban is keen to show that it is a very different Taliban. It is a Taliban that is willing to work with the international community. And when it comes to its commitment as well, in fact, on 27th, it had made a commitment with it, which is being mentioned in the UNSC resolution as well. And if you look at what the member countries spoke yesterday at the United Nations Security Council, Britain or US or France, they primarily said that yes, we have taken note of what Taliban has been saying, but we will not go by their words, we will go by their actions. So what the world is awaiting right now is the action by Taliban on the ground. And of course, Taliban has to deal with its own worries as well, because there are splinter groups in Afghanistan. IS-K, of course, is being now blamed for many other terror attacks in the country. The recent, of course, the Kabul terror attack. So now there is a dichotomy in terms of Taliban still being on the UNSC terror list. So a terror group versus a terror group, and the narrative coming good Taliban versus bad Taliban, good terrorism versus bad terrorism. So it's an ongoing process. The only thing the world is right now doing is waiting and watching as to what happens on the ground. But of course, there is another story which is playing, that is the heartbreaking visuals coming from Kabul, the common Afghan which is suffering amidst this change or influx in the country, an era which has started, but an era of uncertainty as well.
Absolutely. Uncertainty once again in store for Afghans. What lies ahead for them? The Taliban has been making all sorts of assurances and claims and promises through these press statements. Speaking of which, Anas, give our viewers a sense of what things are looking like on the ground after the United States has completed that withdrawal. You've also been reporting extensively from the Kabul airport, which was the epicenter of that evacuation process.
Well, the better sense is that as we speak, Mullah Abdul Ghani Brother, the deputy emir of the Afghan Taliban, or the head of the political office, is currently en route to Kabul from Kandahar, and sources within the Taliban tell me that consultations are now in the final phase. We're expecting a government announcement within this week, within the next 3 to 4 days at top. All eyes would be whether it would be an inclusive government or not, but what Mullah Abdul Ghani Brother has consulted with the people or with his leadership back in Kandahar. Kandahar is of course the historical capital of the Afghan Taliban, and Mullah Hebatullah Akhundzada, who is the Amir of the Afghan Taliban, is also housed in Kandahar as well. In Kabul, there seems to be an uneasy calm. Kabul now seems to be getting grip around the fact that this is the new normal. This is how they would have to continue their life. Schools are still not functioning. However, markets have opened up. Women are out on the road. Of course, not that much in greater numbers, but yes, they are out on the roads. We're seeing traffic and rush and jams as to how it was earlier as well. Roadside vendors are there, but the bigger problem remains with the banks. Banks continue to remain not in operation, and that is a bigger worry because people don't have cash. These banks would open for about 3 to 4 hours and then they would shut down. There is no assurance on the cash inflow that is there, because we've seen funds being frozen as well. And additionally, remember, the Afghan currency is printed elsewhere. It's not printed in Afghanistan. It's printed in Poland and in Norway. And who would be placing the orders? What would be the currency notes that would be used? Would it be the Republic's currency note that would be used, or would an Emirat will be putting out their new currency notes or not? Would that currency be acceptable? So as I said, there is an uneasy calm. People are scared. People are fearful. People are panicked. People are anxious, because it's been 16 days and we haven't heard in clarity on the Taliban's plan with regards to moving forward. As I said just a while back, before I went for this live, I can confirm, having spoken to multiple Taliban sources, that Mullah Abdul Ghani Brother is indeed on the way to Kabul from Kandahar after having completed his consultations. The consultations for government formation is now in the final phase. This is what the Taliban sources have been telling me, and they are expected to be completed in the next 3 to 4 days. Molly?
Right, going back across to Siddhant, who's been tracking all those developments in New Delhi. As we were discussing earlier, the Indian Prime Minister has also formed a high-level group, including Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar and the NSA Ajit Doval, to monitor the situation in Afghanistan in view of India's priorities and the possibility of terror emanating from Afghan soil. If our viewers were to be given a better sense of what India's priorities are at this point and what India's concerns will be the way forward. A lot of those concerns have also been raised in that meeting that took place between the Taliban leadership and the Indian side just a short while back.
Well, yes, the meeting basically happened just after 15th of August, the fall of Kabul to Taliban. And that meeting saw all the political leadership present here. The top political leadership, the NSA was present, the Foreign Secretary was present, the Indian envoy to Afghanistan was also present. And since then, they have been closely monitoring the development. As of now, India's standpoint is to wait and watch, closely observe what is happening in Afghanistan first. And secondly, there is no point of commenting as well, because there is no government present. Because as long as there is no government, you really don't have anything to talk about, anything to make comments about. In fact, if you look at the regional countries as well, be it Pakistan, be it Iran, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, in fact, barring Tajikistan, most of the countries have been quiet. The Chinese, of course, have been sending feelers. But if you look at the Tajik comments, in fact, the Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi was in Tajikistan. There was a readout of the meeting between the president and the Pakistani Foreign Minister, in which the president had said that we are not going to recognize any government which is not inclusive, that does not include minorities. Specifically, it looked like his concern was about the Tajik minorities in Afghanistan, which of course constitute a major portion. So they would like to see that minority playing an important role in an inclusive government. So India will continue to closely observe the situation. And as Anas was pointing out, it's only after the government formation, which can happen perhaps in next few days, 5 to 6 days or a week, that there can be some semblance or some reaction from the regional countries, including India.
Right, we are leaving it there for the moment. Siddhant joining us from New Delhi and Anas joining us from Kabul. Thanks very much for all of those updates. The Taliban holding their first press conference after the American withdrawal from Afghanistan. At the same time, that meeting that has taken place between the Indian side and the Taliban leadership. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.